Welcome to another edition of the Burnout with yours truly, and today we're gonna be doing something just a little bit different. We're gonna do a tribute on some of the people that we've lost that were close to us, and it's important to remember those that are gone. Because their memory lives on. And the only way it lives on is through those people that are impacted by them. But before I get started, I'm going to do the quote of the day as I always do. And the quote of the day is, people learn how to treat you based on what you accept from them. So it's very important if you let people walk all over you, they know how to treat you, they're going to continue walking all over you. But today I'm going to do a tribute for Deacon Grover Wheeler and Jadakis McKinney. I'm going to start with Jadakis McKinney. He was a young man, spontaneous. In my opinion, he left us way too early. But we don't dictate when you depart or when you arrive in this world. But we're going to talk about a few of the things that he did while he was here. Jadakis McKinney's mother is Yolanda Wheeler. He has a host of sisters and brothers. But we're going to focus strictly on what he brought to us and the joy that he brought in our lives one way or the other. My experience with Jadakis is every time I encountered with him, it was more of a competition. He was better than me at something. It was, whether it be video games, whether it be he's a better athlete than me, which, he wasn't a better athlete than me. But in his mind, he was a better athlete than me. He enjoyed playing football and track. He could outrun me now. There's no doubt. Not he could outrun me in my present form, but in my youthful days, he could not run me. But right now he could outrun me now. I'm 100 pounds heavier, so of course it wouldn't be that difficult to do it. But it was just a playful competition. He always had a big smile on his face every time I encountered him. No matter what the circumstances he was dealing with, no matter what he was going through, it just seemed like he was always happy, or he was just happy to try to insinuate that he could do something better than me. But the only thing that he knew he couldn't do better than me is he wasn't stronger than me. He knew I was way stronger than him. But sometimes when you can't beat somebody at something, you're going to kind of shy away from that conversation, and you're going to highlight what you can do better than me, which is normal. That's what a typical person does. I do it the same. I do it also. But he just brought joy. He was sometimes a light in a dark tunnel. Even though nobody is happy all the time, and you're not going to agree with people all the time, but it's not about agreeing or disagreeing. It's about cherishing the moment that you're with them, and just appreciating the time that they're here, because everybody knows the time is limited. But this young man he was just a competitor, and no matter what we go into, he's competing with me. And to be me being a competitor, that drives me, because I want to show you that you cannot beat me. Even though I knew I couldn't beat him at track, but I would try it, even though I failed. But it's just a friendly competition. And I know his mother Yolanda misses him dearly. I know his sisters and brothers misses him, aunts missing him, grandparents missing him. I know there's a host of people that are in line that wish he was here, and but it's hard to be taken away from our mother at that young age, and to be only 20. That was heartbreaking. That was devastating, and sometimes it comes to a point that it's like you walking in a cloud, or you walking in fog that you don't believe is real, that you just can't get your mind to grasp the concept that this person that was so young, that's brought so much joy to you, that is no longer here. And it's just something that is hard for anybody to understand. It's hard for anybody to comprehend. And it's just hard for anybody to accept that one of their loved ones is gone off. And, and it's just the memories that keeps you driving. People tell me all the time that time heals all wounds. I don't agree with that. What I think is time makes it bearable to deal with, because you're never truly going to heal from the loss of a person that you knew all your life. So I don't think it's the healing factor of it. It's just to the point that you have to just learn to deal with it. And you have good days, you have bad days, and I know Yolanda have good days and bad days as well, just like everybody else. And I know sometimes she does just like everybody else, reminisces, and you reminisce on it, and it just brings tears to your eyes, and it's just something hard to deal with. And as far as her being a parent, it's something that you never think about that would happen. The old saying goes is, I remember the Cosby Show said, you just don't think you're going to bury your kids. You think your kids are going to bury you. And that was a quote from John Q. with Denzel Washington. But it's just the good memories of the things of the joy that he brought. Even when times were bad, he still figured out a way to make a joke out of everything, and it just loosened up everybody around, made the room just like it just brought joy to the room. And like I say, that I know him personally. Me and him butted heads on many occasions, but it never stayed that way. We always overcame our differences, just like anybody else that would overcome their rivals, if you want to call it a rival, differences. But it's just the good times that you share. It's the moments that you can never really get back, but you just remember, because the memories don't go anywhere. You're always going to have memories, whether they're good or bad, but most of it, you just want to remember a person at their best. Some people love to highlight your worst, and those are the people that we don't deal with too often. So we're just going to highlight the best of him, and the best of him was the joy, the camaraderie that me and him shared, the joy he brought to everybody that he encountered. No matter who it is, no matter what it was, he just had that spirit about him that if the room is tense, I'm going to loosen it up by saying something off the wall, doing something off the wall, just making it just a lighter situation. And that's one of the things that we take for granted a lot of times, and we don't appreciate people while they're here. But we have a tendency to reminisce and want to think about them when they're gone. And a lot of things we don't say we appreciate them. We thank them. We care about a person. You have to do it while they're here, because once they're gone, they can't hear it. You can't. There's no enjoyment saying it now. So I just remember him as being that competitor, that joyful person, the one that always had something silly to say to lighten the room up, to lighten the atmosphere up, and to accomplish what a lot of them say he couldn't accomplish. I think graduating was one of the highlights and high points, because there are so many doubters out there that doubted him, that he couldn't do it, and he proved them wrong. And that's what it's about. It's about just doing what you know you're capable of doing when everybody else around you think you can't do it. Now, the one person I know for sure that never doubted him was Yolanda. Yolanda never doubted him. Yolanda always believed in him, even when I had doubts, not of him graduating, some of the stuff that he said he could do, even when I know he could not lift me. And Yolanda would have something, yeah, he could. She gonna have hoping that he could do it, even though she know he couldn't. But she gonna put it in his head to give him the level, the leverage to think he could. And that's the one person that in his whole life that I think to never even question anything about him, what his capabilities are, Never put limitations on him, so it was unlimited of what he could accomplish. And that's the one person I know for sure. And there's many more who had that same confidence in him. You can go with Pinky Shell, Levon. All of them had confidence in him. Mr. Bobby Wheeler. Everybody had confidence in him because he was driving and thriving in confidence. He knew it. But his mother was the one that was closer to him. I know she had the ultimate confidence in him. And there's no doubt in my mind that she missed him dearly, that when she's by herself, that there's no doubt that she just reminisces and drifts off into her own world, and knowing that there's a piece of her that's missing, and that is gone from sight, but it's not gone from memory. So, you have to take your hat off to everybody that surrounds him. And I'll always commend Yolanda for the strength that she had to possess, because she had other kids that she had to uplift them and keep them standing at the same time while she's grieving. And that is a really, really difficult task to do. And, she managed to do it and continued doing it. And even when she had schoolwork, elevating her higher learning to nursing, she still never wavered. And to juggle all those things at the loss of one of her kids it takes tremendous strength, tremendous courage, and it takes a lot of heart, because that's something a lot of people can't endure. Everybody say they can, but you don't know until you're in that circumstances or in that situation that it's not as easy as it's not as easy as just saying that. And the memories of him are going to be forever linked to her. And and I can just imagine sometimes she just smiled, because you had a lot of people surrounding her, thinking he wasn't going to be anything, he wasn't going to go anywhere, and he graduated. And I know that just brought a smile to her face, as well as the Kool-Aid guy. And that's what she brought to the table. She kept him upright, and she never, like I said, she never wavered. She always believed in him when nobody else did, and she always showed ultimate confidence. And like I said, she's not the only one who believed in him. There's a host of other people who believed in him also. But I'm just going to highlight her because that's her son. And nobody's going to have as much confidence in you as your mother or father. So that's just how it works. But right now, Yolanda had the ultimate confidence in him. And like I said, we're going to remember him as a cheerful person, a person who accomplished well beyond what anybody thought he could, but her and a few more. And we're just going to highlight his athleticism, the football, the track and field. He couldn't play basketball, because I could beat him. Even at this size, I could beat him in basketball. I'm rather good in basketball. But he always tried, though. He thought he could beat me. I don't really think that's a sport he thought I could beat him in. But, it is what it is. But, we just want to take this time out to remember him, to take the time out to just reminisce and just think about all the good times you had with him, all the times that was well spent. And we would never forget him. His memory will continue to live on through each and every one of our lives, because he was part of our life. And I know his sisters and brothers miss him equally. And we can never overlook the burden that they had to deal with at an early age. To lose one of their siblings is a big pill to swallow. And they still hung it together. They still kept thriving. Their kids still kept striving. And that is something that we always have to commend. And we just going to think of him as being the most cheerful person, the most playful person, most competitive person I've seen at his age. And that's what we're going to remember. And that's our tribute to Jadakis McKinney. And he's going to always continue to live in each one of our lives as long as we live. And we'll never forget him. And his memory will continue to go on through everybody that he touched while he was here. We had Jadakis from February the 16th, 2002 to June the 10th, 2022. It's too short, but your character is what you build while you're here. Your legacy is what you leave. So his legacy is untarnished, and it will always continue to be remembered throughout as long as we live. And we're going to just say, rest in peace, my young brother. And we're going to keep going on in your name. We'll never forget you. That's all we have for the burnout today. You give you the two fingers, peace, and them always flame up, never burn out.